all 6 maps. We're into game. UWOTM8 against Cringe Gods, game 1 of today.
Yeah, we can see some early pressure onto Daki, the hunter for now. It looks like Mozzarella is trying to shut Doodoo Feral down on his Cyclones. He's going for another one. Not able to get it quite yet. Now Toaster tossing out that Avenging Wrath. He's going for a lot of burst onto Daki. Doodoo Feral's doing a good job to deflect it so far with his Cenarian Ward. It's healing quite a lot, actually. That's an amazing heal there. Doodoo Feral still looking for a clone. Clones up Dizio. He just wants to peel through this Avenging Wrath. He's doing a good job so far, and they only need to trade out 1 deterrence. If they can get away with only trading 1, they will be very far ahead, but I'm starting to doubt it. Snowy is struggling to heal through the damage. Daki's dipping just so low on HP. Snovy's trying to cast a heal, get next to that big heal, and now Toaster is starting to get counter pressured. He's down to 30%. He's forced to bubble already. Bubble and pain suppression have been burned through for UWOTM8. This is looking terrible for UWOTM8.
Yeah, certainly they didn't get the cooldowns they would have hoped for with that Wings and the full trap onto Snovy, not even forcing a Spirit Link out. However, the Incarnation has come out right now. That was forcing the bubble. Can they get more control? They just need to get some CC onto the Disc Priest. He still has his Trinket available. Hodge onto Snovy, but he pre-grounds it. Actually, no trap able to follow up thanks to a great Cyclone from Doodoo Feral, shutting down Dizio on that CC chain.
Yeah, Doodoo Feral's been going crazy with Cyclones. He's been eating a lot of the interrupts, so Snovy is allowed to cast. He's playing really well, and now Toaster is in the most amount of trouble. Mazza trinkets out of that to try and get some healing rolling, but both of his teammates are down to half HP. Are they playing Jungle Cleave or with a Warlock? They're rotting this team down so incredibly fast. Doodoo Feral tossing out another well-timed Cenarian Ward that is healing Daki quite a bit, holding him at about 50%, but Snovy needs to connect the heal very soon. He goes for the big Ascendance heal that should be able to top it. He actually gets knocked away, and now Dizio in that Cyclone means that they can't pursue any more damage. It looks like Maz is going to follow up with a full fear. Do they have any more CC? They need to keep Snovy locked down. It looks like Dizio wants to land a trap. He lands the full trap. Now Daki could be in trouble. This could be the second deterrence. He's trying to line of sight, doing a good job behind the pillar. Toaster is into that binding shot. Doodoo Feral looking to try and clone up the DPS. Gets a clone over onto Dizio. That will pause the game shortly. Another well-timed Cenarian where Doodoo Feral's doing very well with this talent. You don't normally see it taken from a Feral Druid.
Yeah, this Jungle Cleave's doing an excellent job of surviving. Doodoo Feral's just getting the Cyclones out when he needs to, and as we said, the Cenarian Ward and also the kiting from the Hunter. But a nice double fair comes out. This could be trouble for Daki. He's just running around the pillar. Still has a deterrence available. He should be okay for now. Snovy still holding on to 2 Spirit Links. I'd like to see him maybe pop one of those, but no, the deterrence does come out. He needs to top off his partner before the trap, but on the other side, Bob coming out for Toaster. He's in a lot of trouble. A nice offensive Cyclone on the Avenging Wrath from Doodoo Feral, once again shutting down that offensive cooldown, but Daki is going to take a lot of damage here.
It's basically a race between Toaster and Daki right now. Toaster is lower on HP. Mazza has cooldowns, but he's caught into CC. He's not able to use them, and Toaster could just go down to 20% HP. What's he going to do? He's trying to run back out of line of sight. That Power Word shield barely coming in time. He eats the trap. Toaster eats the trap for his healer and prevents that CC chain, which means that he can heal him back up to full. And now Daki is in trouble. He has no deterrences remaining. Snovy needs to be the one to save him. They're trying to connect to each other. They might just choose to use a Spirit Link here. They are dangerously low. They're playing with the devil right now. Doodoo Feral going for a Cyclone. Gets interrupted. Again, Doodoo Feral's just been doing a great job with these Cyclones, eating the interrupts, giving Snovy time to cast, but he actually gets interrupted into the full trap, and now Daki's in a lot of trouble. Snovy trinkets out. He grounded the silence. Really amazing grounding totem from Snovy, but he needs to use a cooldown. He drops the Spirit Link right before the Fist of Justice, and now Toaster is in a bit of trouble. Mazza should use the pain suppression here to reduce the damage. He's trying to get away without using it, but now he goes into that full Cyclone, and now he will be unable to use it. Toaster's just in the middle of the map, taking so much damage. He gets cloned up at low HP. Really amazing clone here from Doodoo Feral. Can they switch it over onto Mazza? They get the full trap, and Toaster should fall. He's barely staying alive here. Moses barely keeping up at 40% HP, but he does survive. Now bringing the aggression forward onto Daki, who is now below half HP. It's just a race at this point. Pain suppression comes out from Moza. Moza's running out of mana. Snovy's sitting at full. As long as they can stay alive for a few more seconds, it's looking good for Cringe Gods.
Yeah, and they still do have that Spirit Link available, but he needs to be out of CC to get it. Full trap now lands onto Snovy. Daki could be in a bit of trouble. He's kind of kiting away, but Dizio also taking a lot of damage. Toaster may well fall here. Deterrence. The Hunter cannot help him out. Toaster down to 2%. He will fall. Shield comes out. He's actually alive. Dizio as well. Still so low. There's no way he could out-heal that with 0 mana. Moza did such a good job of keeping Toaster alive, but in the end of the day, Cringe Gods with so much pressure, but this was such a back-and-forth game. Either team could have easily won this.
I mean, look at the situation. If they had been able to survive, Toaster has his Avenging Wrath up in his cooldown, so that's his huge burst window. It was available. If they could have stayed alive 15 seconds longer, landed 1 CC on Snovy, they could have easily taken down Doodoo Feral or Daki, so unfortunate for them, but Cringe Gods in a a bit of a matchup that you normally don't want to play. As a jungle cleave, it's not favorable to be fighting against a Ret Paladin. They still managed to pull off a victory, and I really think it was Feral that carried the game. He picked that Cenarian ward here on the talents next to the Displacer Beast. So that Cenarian ward is a burst-based heal. Whenever Snowy gets CC'd, Feral tosses out that Cenarian ward to heal. He was going for a lot of Cyclones, eating a lot of the interrupts, allowing Snowy to cast heals. Feral was definitely the MVP of this match, and if it really wasn't for him, I'm kind of wondering if they would have been able to win.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And the other thing about Ret Hunter Disc Priest is you bring in that Disc Priest.
So it's the smart decision for UWOTM8, and I'm wondering if they know that. Yep, they do know the option to pick it, and it is going to be Runes of Lordaeron. So Cringe Gods are up 1-0, and it looks like they're just going to be charging into the middle of the map. Just going to be a brawl. Snowy hanging very far back, actually, in the outskirts. That will make it a little bit more difficult to land a trap on him. We can see Rusko actually already caught into a trap. Toaster already dipping very low on HP, but a nice sacrifice will remove the CC off Rusko. Now Toaster is bringing on the aggression over to Daki. Daki down to 50%, and he's going to have nowhere to run on this map. He immediately deterrents. I like that reaction. Just prevent the damage before it happens.
Yeah, so there's two big changes in this game. Like you say, Daki doesn't have that. Oh, he's going to struggle perhaps to kite in the same way he was able to last game, as we see Snowy caught up into that full trap. Daki's in a lot of trouble. Might have to blow the second deterrence. That does come out. Snowy should be able to connect some heals after this trap. I don't think there's any follow-up CC. As you can see, UWOTM8 running. Oh, he needs to get the Spirit Link off here. There's so much damage coming out. Actually able to kite Toaster a little bit. He's dropping kind of low. The nice low Cyclone coming out from Feral, but that Incarnation not going to force the bubble like it did last game. And one of the reasons perhaps is that UWOTM8 are running that Shaman now. They identified their CC chains weren't the cleanest last game, and now they've gone for that increase sustained with Rusko and Shaman.
Yeah, I think it was a smart decision there, but they need to change up their buffs. Toaster is still buffing Mastery. He needs to be buffing Kings instead of Might if he wants to get the full stat value. So it's going to be a bit of an overlap for now, but it looks like Feral is still looking for some Cyclones. He wants to prevent any healing incoming, but now caught into a stun. He will be unable to, but he preemptively Cenarian warded that binding shot, so Daki just stays at full HP. Now they're bringing a lot of pressure over to Dizio. Dizio's trying to get back to the pillar with Rusko. Now line of sighting on the other side, but Daki's just right on top of him. Snowy now taking the tomb as well. It seems like the Hunters are just attacking at each other. Now a swap over onto Toaster. They've already burst him down to 50%. Rusko caught into a full clone. Can they land any more CC onto Rusko? They need it, and they need it now. They do go for the binding shot. Daki needs to land the trap. He's trying to get it. He lands the full trap. Toaster's caught in a stun. He can't use that sacrifice. He has no bubble. He's down to 20%. He's just flailing for his life basically at this point. He's just going for the aggression. He doesn't care if he dies. He bops himself at 10%. He wants to try and get a kill over onto Daki. He knows that he has no deterrents remaining. Snowy trinkets. He drops the link, but Daki got knocked out of it. Now Daki's still in so much trouble. Snowy is forced to drop his second Spirit Link to stabilize. There's still a lot of pressure. They're trying to turn it around with a trap onto Rusko, but Toaster just immediately sacrifices that off. It's a race against the end of the world right now. Daki down to 50%, Toaster down to 50%. Snowy needs to try and get some hard-casted heals out here pretty soon. He's laying down that Cloudburst totem. He's preparing to line up a lot of burst healing. He tops him off. Now with Daki stabilized, it's basically down to the next trap to decide the game.
Yeah, certainly is. Rusko could well be the target of that next trap. There it is. Toaster in a lot of trouble. He does have that bot, but it's not going to be enough. So much magic damage coming out from the Survival Hunter. We did see the wings coming out, desperately trying to get a heal off in that Blessing of Protection. Of course, he couldn't be interrupted by Feral, but Daki with so much damage. The Black Arrow, just the explosive damage. It's just the bot was not enough. He did it way too late. And that's going to be game 2 in favor of Cringe Gods. I actually liked what UWOTM8 changed here. I really like the rest of the Shaman, but despite having Rusko, Feral was still able to get so many Cyclones off. They have the wind shear, they have the grounding in addition. Of course, it's a lot more stops than the Priest Silence, but Feral just getting so much CC out regardless.
We have to wonder how proficient Moza is at Resto Shaman. So he was just playing a Disciplined Priest, which I would imagine is kind of his main class that he plays, so he switched to an alternate class. Is he comfortable with trying to get those wind shears, right? That's what he's really focusing on landing onto Feral. Stop the Cyclones, ground the Cyclones. Maybe he's not the most comfortable on that alternate class, so Feral was still able to get a lot of CC. And even despite that, they just got to kill so early on. You don't really see the Jungle Cleave in that matchup able to end the game that fast. Yeah,
and I agree with you. They will get dropped down to this side of the bracket. So if CG win this game, against what potentially could be considered a counter composition, they're already looking incredibly strong today.
You wouldn't think it's a counter when you're watching this.
Yeah, maybe not. But so if they manage to progress here, they will meet the loser of the Turbo Mirror. Of course, that massive Turbo Mirror between BlizzCon Champion and BlizzCon Champions.
Yeah.
Certainly teams you wouldn't necessarily want to be fighting, but these guys certainly have a great chance of causing an upset.
Yeah, more than certainly. I mean, if Cringe Gods made it all the way through, that would be an upset. I think for most of us, we're expecting NG Blue, the Yacht Boys, Toxic Youth, and Snakes. Those are probably the 4 favorites for making it to the tournament. So if Cringe Gods can come out of basically nowhere and take one of those team spots, there's going to be a lot of salt. Some people are going to be upset. So I am down for some salt, so I'm wondering if the Cringe Gods can do it. They're looking very professional in this series. They're making it look easy.
Kite around pillars and LOS that red damage. He's also kiting Snovi a little bit there, so they might get the opportunity to get a kind of bursty kill, maybe take out CG before their cooldowns, but obviously so far that has not happened. CG 2-0 up in this series, and Tiger's Peak is potentially the final resting place for UWOTM8.
Yeah, definitely. Cringe Gods are looking amazing in this series. It looks like Dizio is going to be playing Beast Mastery, so you can see his T-Rex already getting sent onto Snovi, and that's going to build up stacks for more burst later on. We can see Moza caught into a bash, connecting into that full trap. Toaster's going to remove that right away. Quick reaction. Dudu looking for a clone. They need to make sure that they stop these incoming Cyclones. They actually use the Fists of Justice, forcing Dudu Trinket. They're still trying to chase him down. Dudu on the run, trying to line of sight on this balcony, but they're just going to switch their attention to Daki now. They've got him down to 40%. Snovi needs to be careful with the situation here. There's a lot of burst, and they are not respecting the Ret Paladin space. Daki deterrencing now. That will prevent quite a bit of damage. It seems like Dudu wants to pull the trigger. He's going for that Incarnation over onto Toaster, but they're really not getting any cooldowns. They've used the Incarnation with no CC. They need to get Moza locked down into a trap if they want any real pressure. Daki disengages over. He tries to Holy Fire the trap to break it with damage, but he doesn't manage to connect it. Daki's still not landing the trap. He's trying to sneak up for the trap. Lands that full trap, a double trap at the same time. This could be trouble for both teams as Dizio goes for his Murder of Crows onto Daki, but Dudu with another amazing Cenarian ward. He's healing through that burst very well, but it will be fading here shortly. Daki down to 20%. Snovi caught into a fear. Deterrence at 6%. He's fully dotted. He might just go down at 20%. Snovi's being so greedy. Snovi, how are you getting away with this greed? He tops him off with a huge healing surge, but man, I would have a heart attack if I was Daki.
Yeah, the Aura Master Healing Surge coming out barely in time. No deterrences left on Daki. At the same time, there's no sacrifices on UWOTM8, so Cringe Gods certainly have been going through those breaks on the Disc Priest. Now we do see the bubble coming out with a nice follow-up Cyclone from Dudu, as we've seen time and time again. Toaster just going to toss out those flash of lights, heal himself behind the pillar and go on offense now. He needs to get the CC onto Snovi. We need to see that Hodge Trap landing soon because they still have not forced the Trinket Link. There's the fear. Can they follow up on the CC chain? They need to land this Hodge. He gets knocked away. Might not quite be able to land it. The grounding goes down, but he does land the CC. If they could follow up with the trap, they could potentially win here. He's so far away from his healer. They're going to struggle to land the Trinket Link. No trap follows up, though, thanks to another amazing Cyclone from Dudu.
Yeah, Dudu has been playing so well in this matchup. It looks like Snovi decided to trade out his Spirit Link right before the trap. Can they chase Daki down? Daki's just been doing laps on this pillar. He's trying to get away. He actually traps up Toaster to try and slow some damage. Maybe he didn't mean to do that. He might have actually ate the trap for Moza. Sick play from Toaster. That's going to get them so much pressure. Daki's just going to get blown up. Snovi got locked on his heel right before that point, ended up trinketing but was unable to Spirit Link, and UWOTM8 strike back.
Yeah, I mean, we've been commenting on how late Snovi likes to use the Spirit Link so far. We've seen examples of that in all 3 games, and here it does finally punish them. There were a couple of times where it looked like he might not even be able to get it off because Daki was so far away. They have, of course, the knock trap on Dizio. They have so many ways of preventing that Spirit Link, and here it does not go down due to the kick. So well played by UWOTM8. They bring this series back 1-2. They've still got a way to go, but certainly this is going to be nice motivation for them.
Yeah, Snovi, he was so greedy so many times in that match, and I feel like the Spirit Link that he did earlier wasn't necessary. 100%. He went from being the most greedy shaman to like, here, I'm just going to use a link. And then it was kind of not the best. It's such a hard choice, right? Spirit Link is one of those. It's
lots of cooldowns to go through, but maybe Snovi just, when he has so many links, he has double link available, he needs to go for that.
We're actually into the next game right away. These teams are ready to pull the trigger. Dalaran Sewers could be the final resting place for UWOTM8. They struck back and took game number 3. They're looking to try and take game number 4. Daki dueling with Dizio in the middle right now, looking to land a trap on Moza. Lands that full trap, but Toaster will remove that right away. I really like those preemptive sacrifices. Get him out of CC, get going, and now it looks like they're bringing the aggression to Daki. They've actually forced him to Trinket and Deterrence very early on. He's respecting the Ret Paladin space, but now Murder of Crows is up. I don't think that Cenarian ward will be enough. Forced now into his second Deterrence. This is looking terrible for Cringe Gods right now. UWOTM8 have found their center.
Yeah, UWOTM8, they don't really have any ramp-up time on their damage. The Hunter and the Ret can just go instantly, so I really like that sacrifice, like you say, just getting offensive. We'll see the second sacrifice actually popped onto that trap there, so both sacrifices down. PS also used on the side of UWOTM8, but they forced double deter from Daki. This is the CC chain onto Snovi. They need to get the damage on to Daki if they can connect to him, but he's just kind of playing by the pillar. We see the snake trap. He's just being being annoying for the rep pad, and Toaster struggling to connect around that pillar. And like we say, the map choice for Cringe Gods definitely paying dividends right now.
Oh, Dizio eating that trap for his healer. Really well played. Toaster needs to be careful. He doesn't want to throw the game. He still has a lot of defensive cooldowns. Trades out that Divine Shield to immune the damage. But Moses caught into a full Hex. Snowy found the time to sneak that Hex out. Unfortunately, it ended up breaking to a bleed tick. That's really unfortunate. They were looking to get a lot of pressure with that. Now instead, Dudu is forced to clone up Toaster and switch his damage over onto Dizio. But Dizio has two deterrents, as they really need to focus on Toaster. It looks like Daki needs to run for right now, though. He's trying to get out of line of sight on this box, but it's such a small box. He's not able to go anywhere, and he's just going to go down. Snowy barely trinket links in time. If that silence was just a millisecond faster, he might not have been able to get that off. Dudu Farrell's trying to carry his team. He goes for the Cyclone over onto Moza. Moza has no way to get out of crowd control right now. They land the full trap. Does Toaster sack it? He sacks it off immediately. Toaster's been pulling the trigger very fast on that. He wants to stay aggressive. Daki and Snowy are trying to trade sides of the map. They need to get away from this Rep Paladin, as his Avenging Wrath is impending in 19 more seconds.
Yeah, Cringe Gods definitely need to get away right now. Like you say, so close to the game ending. Toaster knows that as well. He's just going to sit through the CC. He sees that Avenging Wrath up in 10 seconds. There's no trinket on Snowy, and Deterrence is not up for another minute on Daki either. This is certainly a win if they can just cleanly land their CC and connect to Daki. But at the same time, Toaster in trouble. No breaks on Mozzarella. There's no sacrifices available, so he needs to play behind the pillar. And it's only 50 seconds on that Deterrence. They need to get offensive soon, otherwise Cringe Gods are going to have that answer. Toaster now pushing offensively. He needs to land this Hodge onto Snowy. He does do so. Can they follow up with the trap or the Fear? That's going to be the question. Dizio, he's unable to land it, and the Fear actually misses the Snake Trap, eating that from Daki. Beautiful play by him.
And it looks like Dizio has landed his full trap. Now Daki is in so much trouble. He needs to get out of line of sight. He's doing his best, using the Feign Death, everything in his arsenal to stay alive, to get the Spirit Link, to get it off in time. Dudu Farrell gets inside. Now he's going for some defensive clones. I like the defensive play from Dudu Farrell. He needs to clone up these DPS. He's going to throw a Maim over into Moza. Daki's going to look for a trap. He lands the full trap out of that, and Moza trinkets out. They want to go aggressive. They know that Daki doesn't have anything to survive right now. They're attacking Dudu Farrell. Okay, they're going to switch their attention back over onto Daki. Dizio needs to land this trap. They go for the Fear instead. Will Dizio get the trap? He's chasing Snowy down the ramp, but he gets stunned. Dudu Farrell with a really well-timed stun into Cyclone will prevent that CC chain completely. Now Snowy has some breathing room to get back to the ramp and get away from that Hunter. Toaster now in a bit of trouble. Moza with no way to get out of this crowd control. If Dudu Farrell can get a clone or a stun, they go for the bash. Is Dudu Farrell going to look for the clone? No, he's just looking for the kill, and Toaster goes down. Cringe Gods are going to take this series 3-1. Amazing play from Dudu Farrell.
Yeah, that was amazing, honestly. Cringe Gods communicating so perfectly. You can tell Snowy is every single time saying how long the CC, or what CC is next and needs to be stopped. And actually, the Ret Hunter had less CC on the healer than the Jungle Cleave, despite having that Disc Priest. As you can see, Snowy was in CC for 1 minute, whereas Mozzarella was in CC for 1 minute and 10 seconds. You would definitely expect it to be the other way around.
That was all Cyclones. If you really look at time and CC for Toaster, Dizio, and Moza, like, it was Cyclones. Dudu Farrell just carried the game on his back. Snowy used his cooldowns a lot more effectively. Daki kited much better on this map, so they just improved overall from the previous game, and they're going to cleanly take it now 3-1 and advance, and I believe that they will be fighting one of the Turbo Cleaves later, so they could be the upset team. If those Turbo Cleaves aren't prepared for a Jungle Cleave, they could easily be eliminated, and that would be quite the upset. I'm really excited to see how Cringe Gods perform. Unfortunately, though, for UWOTM8, they have been eliminated from Qualifier Cup number 3, which means it's kind of one of those moments where you're like, sorry, try again next year. Obviously, you can still play, you can still practice, but those were some good games. UWOTM8 played a very good series there, and I'm sure if they improve a little bit from that they'll do even better next year if they stay together.
Certainly, and they've earned a little bit of prize money, of course, for getting into this Final 8. They did so last week as well, so they're not going to be too unhappy. Of course, it is upsetting to lose, but